What's up, Delora? We are back with some headlines and hot topics coming at you. How you feeling?
Feeling good. God is good.
All the time.
I'm sorry, I still can't get over the fact that Candace Owens didn't know the response to that. But
Blackened skin only.
and all the time, God, it's good. But no, real talk. Things are going well, and it's beautiful. I got up this morning, the sun was showing up around 6:30 in the morning. I was like, "What?" And by the
This
time I was on
is
the road by 7, it was all sunshine.
this is the absolute best time of the year right now, in my opinion. Starting to get nice. You're coming out of kind of that winter blues weather, sun is
Out of
staying light
hibernation.
later. Like, oh, it's just like spring has sprung.
All of our windows are open. We love a good fresh moment. Um, we actually washed our carpets in this room, and I'm like, I gotta wash my windows. It's very much spring cleaning, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, welcome back to the pod, everybody listening and watching. We appreciate you for joining us for yet another
Hi,
episode. I
welcome.
I have been talking about this at the end of the episode, but let me start with this as well. We are nominees for the Women Podcasters Awards for 2026. Please get out and vote for us in the news and entertainment category. The link is in
Yes.
the show notes of all of these latest episodes. Voting is through this month of April and closes the last day of April. You can only vote once, so if you voted, please share with family, friends, coworkers, whoever. Let them know, and we appreciate you. So, without further ado, Delora, let's get into the good in these pop culture streets this week. It's a very music heavy headlines and hot topics list, if I must say
Yes.
so myself, that I've
Yes.
curated this week. Um, First up is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I really feel like should just be called the Music Hall of Fame at this point because it's not like it's just
Yeah.
rock and roll artists. We
Correct.
talked we talk about this every year, and this year is no different. We have one woman, but what a woman to be inducted in 2026. Sade out here. Phil Collins, Billy Idol, Iron Maiden, Joy Division slash New Order, Oasis, Luther Vandross, and Wu Tang Clan are
Never
among
too much.
the nominees or inductees rather for this year.
Yes. This is like really exciting. I think it's so crazy because thank God for living, thank God for, growth and awareness, but I feel like the people on this list are going to hit closer to home more and more as things go on because I'm just like absolutely Queen Latifah. Like, you know what I mean? Like um absolutely Luther Vandross. Like I just I don't know. I love it. It makes me so happy. Um uh it was really exciting though. I saw this on NPR. Fela Kuti is the first African artist to be entered in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and that makes me so happy.
Yeah, I mentioned just the performer inductees, but you already spoke to Queen Latifah. We have Celia Cruz, Fela, MC Light, Graham Parsons, who will be honored with the Early Influence Award, and then Linda Creed, R.F. Martin, Jimmy Miller, Rick Rubin will receive the Musical Excellence Award. And then they also listed in this article I'm looking at from USA Today the people who did not make the cut, which is the Black Crows, Jeff Buckley, Mariah Carey, who I feel like has been not inducted now for several iterations, which is
Which
interesting.
is crazy to
It's Mariah
me.
Carey, Melissa Etheridge, Lauryn Hill, INXS. I don't know if you pronounce it or what. Pink, Shakira, And then fan vote winner, New Edition.
Wow. So yeah, I was just looking at the main website and it just has everybody there. It didn't break it down into the categories, but um so fun fact, y'all, let's also go down memory lane. So um we're millennials, and you remember back in the day when you used to order your CDs through a catalog. There would be a catalog that would come to the house
I
and
don't
it
know
would
if I ever
have,
ordered a CD from a
I
catalog.
don't even I don't even know how this is possible, but you would select and you have your different genres and you ordered it and it comes in the mail. And I remember getting, you know, I remember getting my first Walkman. Shout out to my auntie Lori. She gave it to me. It was orange. And I was like, oh, I could have it. And that honestly kicked off my obsession with like music and headphones and all that type of stuff. And then my dad would get these catalogs and he's like, here, you could pick a couple. So growing up, we weren't allowed to listen to secular music. We were only allowed to listen to Christian music. However, the very one of my very first CDs that I owned was a Genesis CD. You can't tell me nothing about Phil Collins.
I learn something new about you constantly.
Ashley,
Constantly.
that's my boy. Okay. Like, and when he did the whole soundtrack for Tarzan, it was a wrap. My childhood was like,
I mean, he does have one of those voices that is, I don't know what the word is. It's very memorable. He's very
yes,
iconic in that way. But yeah, I mean, obviously, the majority of these people we know just because of age and recognition and whatever else. But also, we may be the last generation that knows outside of the algorithm what's going
listen.
on, because the fact that these kids, when I be watching these videos on Instagram, cannot tell you who people who are still alive and well and making music are is very upsetting.
Kids
It
didn't
never
know
ceases to
who
amaze me.
Whitney Houston
Didn't
was on
know
a
who Whitney
college
was.
campus.
Now, granted, the picture was not the best picture in my
It
opinion.
was an 80s, like early career
Hair was,
Whitney.
yeah, it was like
Yeah.
it could be deceptive. But I'm talking about they didn't, some of them didn't know who Nelly was. Some of them didn't know who
Yes.
Ludacris was. I'm like,
Yes.
come on, y'all. Y'all have like these, they were popping in the 2000s.
Exactly.
So let's
I know
not
they, but
play.
see, they were, some of these people were born then, or not
But
even.
But I'm saying, like, name, we knew artists from the
We
80s,
did.
from the 70s, from the
Yes, correct.
60s. Like,
I took, yes,
that's what
yes.
I'm saying.
No,
Like, we
I
may
hear
be the
you.
last generation who just, we know beyond the algorithm what's going on out here. Cause
Yeah.
I was so devastated by the reality
Well,
that these kids don't know who these people are.
that's so true. That's so true. Um, and it's so funny. I saw this clip. I forgot the gentleman who mentioned it, but I agree with him. He was like, the reason why everybody talks about like the 90s TV show and the way they hit is he's like, because we don't have that. I forget how he phrased it. It was like monolithic. Like he's like, we all were sitting down, we all had ABC, NBC, Fox, UPN, you know what I mean?
Yep.
We didn't have all this, variety of ways to be entertained. We all sat down, TGIF started at 8 o'clock. You know what I mean? Family Matters,
We
step
had
by step.
shared experiences,
One
shared
Saturday
moments.
morning, everybody got up on Saturday morning and had their sugary cereal. I was obsessed with Recess and Pepper Ann. Um,
Recess had the Ashleys. Say less. Pepper Ann, much too cool for seventh grade.
Great
Pepper Ann, she's like one in a
in
million.
a million.
Y'all can't
But
tell
yeah,
me nothing about these shows. They used to go so hard. I feel bad for these kids. I really do. Every time this type of stuff comes up, I'm thinking like, what are y'all gonna talk about in the future? what shared life experiences are y'all gonna have together that's not like tragic or sad? I don't
Their
know.
AI companion.
Right. Their best friend Claude or whatever it's gonna be by then. The ceremony is going to take place in November, and actually it's going to debut this year on ABC and Disney Plus in December with a date TBD. So it's crazy to be talking about this in April, and the ceremony won't even take place till the end of the year. But there you go. I was noting too in this USA Today article at the bottom, it says that the contributor, I guess, who was mentioned, is among more than 1,200 voting members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's only 1,200 or so people voting for this. Or am I mistaken? Because I know there's
Honestly,
some fan
it's
participation, but
more than freaking Golden Globes. So to me, I'll take it.
yeah, it's just something to think about, like how small a pool can be for tastemakers of industry. You know what I mean? Like,
That's real.
fascinating. All right, let's move on to this Ruby Rose, Katy Perry story that's been making the rounds. As I was doing a little bit of research right before the pod, I saw that the club owner that this incident happened at has spoken out saying they didn't necessarily see the incident themselves, but they like showed up together. They were like in the VIP area together, all this and that. But actually, the latest articles I'm seeing, and I'm referencing E! News at the moment, says that Katy Perry is under police investigation in Australia over Ruby Rose's sexual assault allegations. So, guys, if you're not up on this, I know I just kind of jumped in and didn't really explain. Ruby Rose accused Katy Perry of sexually assaulting her at a nightclub in Australia back in 2010. I guess she's made some type of comments about it in the past, but she said it in like a joking way versus now she's really coming forward and saying, hey, this was something that happened to me in my 20s. It took me till I was 40 to really be able to process this and speak on it. It sounds like her and Katy had a friendship and Katy helped her get her visa. So she hasn't really spoken out publicly about her negatively, but she was like, I told y'all she wasn't a good person. So she basically accused her of coming and putting her vagina on her face. Like she was like
Crazy.
laying down and that's what happened. And then she projectile vomited on Katy afterwards. Um, I don't want to sound like I don't know what the best way to say it is, like to jump to any assumptions or conclusions, but I could totally like this did not shock me remotely when this story came out.
This seems like what is this early 2010 Katy Perry type of behavior. I understand exactly what you're saying. Allegedly, we don't know her, but this
Allegedly.
this sounds like a crazy night out, and we know with crazy nights out that people tend to do things that other people don't like, and I feel like for a lot of people, they don't feel like they have the credibility to say something about it because again, you know, if everybody's drinking or doing drugs or whatever, things get muddled. But if you didn't like what somebody did, you didn't like what they did. You know what I mean? And it's like, when do you say something about it? And it is really important to see how people be mindful of what people say jokingly because it could have,
Yeah.
kernels of truth in it.
They say every joke has a
Well, that's what makes it funny sometimes too, right? Like,
that's why they say comedians are like some of the darkest people because
yeah,
they can make jokes about everything, but they really be going through some ish. But yeah, I was just looking a little bit more, and it sounds like she originally wasn't going to seek any type of legal action, but then changed her mind. So that's where we are with it.
I
Katie's
mean, it happened
people
to
have
her.
denied it and said it's reckless. But I mean, clearly she feels like this is a case worth pursuing. So we're gonna see what happens. But I will say that, it's definitely a lesson, if nothing else, in the way your behavior can have some real impact and long standing, long reaching ramifications. Because I'm sure she hasn't thought about this
Exactly.
probably a day since, and it sounds like Ruby Rose has never let this go. If this happened the way she's indicating,
That's real.
we'll see. All right, let's move on to Britney Spears. It had come out recently that Britney Spears had gotten a DUI, and after that news came out, her son ended up going and staying with her. It seemed like one of her sons did, changed his name on social media, his last name to her last name. So it seemed like, there was some help and some support that her family wanted to lend to her. And as of recently, she has decided to check herself into a treatment facility and go to rehab. So it was like a month ago she got arrested. And then as of this week or end of last week, she decided to go to rehab. I feel sad, like I have definitely, as we have on the pod, been rooting for Britney since she got the conservatorship taken and got that off of her back, which seemed like she had really been fighting and trying to do. Listen to her book, and Team Brittany have always been rooting for her, but I have still been concerned for her as well, based off of some of the behavior I saw on social media and some of the things that were going on. So I just
I
don't
mean,
I just don't
yeah.
know if she'll ever be okay after the life she's now lived, I guess.
Well, I mean, I read this the other day. This is all comment section. Somebody was like, you know, what if the drugs that they put her on um did some damage? You know what I mean? And because yes, people keep making fun of her twirling on social media, but to be fair, that's the way she used to dance when she was at her prime. But the
It
thing
was just
that's
choreographed.
exactly, but the issue is she likes to like do it topless, and like she's really big on showing her lower tattoos, and her hair isn't always together. So yeah, it just seems like she's in this state of, I mean, to say it kindly, living in her own world, right? Doing her own thing. I do not think she should be driving. I don't know. I don't know how she has a license, and I'm not saying that to be mean. So, um, she recently sold her catalogs, um, for a pretty penny. We just need to make sure, you know, I don't even know who's with her. Like, I know her sons still love and support her.
One of them went and is staying with her. I can't remember if it was Sean or if it was Preston. One of them, or is it Sean Preston? I don't remember.
And to be fair, it's also like who can she trust too, right? So it's like
Girl.
who got her back? You know what I mean? But then at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like who can you trust after going through what she went through? Um, you know, nothing but prayers for Brittany for sure.
I tell you what, this and absolutely the drugs and all these things absolutely would have had some type of effect, whether it's just mental or what have you. It's even just, you think about the way your brain chemistry can be altered just by your environment, just by behavior
Yes.
changes. Just, I mean, I think a lot of our minds were shifted and altered just by COVID and by that isolation and by the fear and anxiety that came with that
Yeah.
time. Um,
That
and she spent
administration.
decades in this environment, suppressed in certain ways, on medications. So yeah, I don't. That's why I was saying I don't know if she'll ever be. I guess I shouldn't even say okay. I don't imagine she'll ever return to whatever version of Britney we grew up with. Because again, we grew up with Britney Spears,
Very much so.
and so I still look back at her younger pictures, her videos, all these things. I don't know if I'll ever see that same look and feel that she had then in terms of just her spirit, not even like clothing or beauty, but like the spirit that she had. But I hope she's able to reach a point of peace. And I don't know what that looks like for her, but that's what I hope for her.
Amen.
All right, that'll wrap up our headlines for this week. Let's move into our hot topics. First one up is going to be this Usher Chris Brown R&B tour announcement. Raymond and Brown is what the R&B stands for this particular tour. People are so excited. Ticket dates are out, tour dates are out. I would have been one of the biggest people talking about this and trying to get tickets, let's say even 2 months ago. I am so not in a space of wanting to get tickets now. I'm still not over what Usher said about Diddy. And I don't know if my feelings are going to change on that anytime soon.
I mean, one could even say him agreeing to go on tour with Chris Brown also says how he feels about,
They, but he's always still supported him. They got into their little altercation. He still never
yes,
said a bad word about him.
that's true. That's true. Um, on paper, this is excellent. This is fantastic. I
R&B
cannot
lovers
imagine.
rejoice,
I mean,
girl.
they need a song, a newer song together so they can do some choreography. I want Sierra to be like a guest, artist or something like that.
This is what hurts me
This
deeply.
this is how I feel on paper. Uh, but in reality, I just like you said, what he said about Diddy, talk about legacy. This man is a known
Abuser.
abuser, felon, whatever you want to call him. He did that shit. You know what I mean? So I cannot with the I will never say a bad word. It's giving, you know, old dark black family secrets. Oh, we just go hold on to these memories and forget the hell
I can't.
that Uncle so and so put on people in his life. I that's where the excitement it loses steam. And I'm still on the fence with Chris Brown too. If I'm keeping it 1,000%, yes, I think the reason why I've embraced him recently, especially because that song you never said da, 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 da. That song is fire. The songs that he's done with DeVito, Afrobeats artist, fire. But he does have really bad behavior. Like I didn't like how he treated Karuchi. So like even post Rihanna, I'm just like the Karuchi relationship was messy. He gets in these fights, randomly. We talked about him and Tiana Taylor and Usher. Wasn't it at his birthday party?
I
Like
think so. Yeah. But
that's
even
where
beyond that, there's a documentary that I watched on, I think it was HBO Max, that came out about Chris Brown. And
ooh,
he's been accused of rape. He's been accused of multiple things over the years that
really?
I
I
was
didn't
not
know
aware
that.
of. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. But again,
So
the at least these things can be said that it's alleged, right? It can be
okay.
said allegedly. It could be said. The Rihanna situation happened flat out.
Yeah.
We have
Karuchi
evidence,
happened.
happened, right? He since said, yo, sorry, Rihanna forgave him, whatever. The public moved on. Diddy is fresh. That motherfucker still in prison. We still not, that video is not that old. Like, I just,
No,
when I tell you,
no.
it hurts me so deeply. Y'all know I love me some R&B, and this is a dream, to your point, on paper collaboration for me musically. And I can only imagine if Sierra, somebody like that came out, just the FOMO of missing that live eats me up. But I
Victoria
just
Monet would be
cannot.
another good. Oh, Tiana Taylor would also be a
Girl,
good guest.
it tears me up. But I've had this conversation now with a couple of people, my brother being one of them, and I was like, I'm just tired of supporting and being 10 toes down for these celebrities who I feel at this point in time I don't align with morally on very, very important things to me. And so I don't want to just go out and support you because I know the music's going to be what I would like to hear when I don't agree, vehemently don't agree with your position on something that is very, very, very important to me.
But our culture, and I say our culture, I mean the broader culture, love to prop up problematic men. I mean, anybody in history, you can
Girl,
you can throw a rock and hit somebody who had either a racism problem, a abuse problem to women, marrying young women. Like,
it's tough.
it's
Throw
rough.
all, I've said this probably on the pod, but outside of the pod, throw the majority of these people away. Like, you better just enjoy whatever output they have for their talent because as people, like, we don't know these people. Like, I'm still having conversations about, oh, am I going to go see the Michael Jackson film? I am not. I am not.
And
I
I
am
have
not.
not officially decided. Like,
I am
I'm
not.
on the fence. And that's another thing. It's like, am I perfect in my consumption of people with problematic, behavior? Absolutely not. No, I'm not
I don't think
perfect.
any of us can be because there's still so much that is happening, will happen, and you have to decide at that time: is it still? Can I get past this? Do I still want to consume this person's product or whatever? It's just
The only artist I've been
exhausting.
successfully been able to purge, and I have like no like guilt or you know re- reminiscing moments or feelings is R. Kelly. Like
I
R.
knew you were gonna
Kelly,
say that.
I'm so done. Shut that. Throw it in the sea. I'm
Yeah,
good.
I will say the ones. Well, first of all, I have to stop myself from singing Aaliyah songs that he produced from back at that time because that's like
Ooh,
horrible, like some of the worst times to be
wow.
listening and
Yeah,
singing
I
his
lean
songs.
heavily on the Timberland produced ones for sure.
Yeah.
That
And
was the best
then
album for
I will
me
say
anyway.
though, the one song that I do still catch myself singing is the one with him and Ronald Isley.
Oh my god.
I do
Trapped in
like
the closet.
not trapped in the closet. It was the one from like oh do 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 do.
Oh my
uh
god. Yes, I know what
One
you're talking
thing
about.
for you, it's not the point you can't, girl. I'm about to have a fit. Oh, yeah. So I find myself when that song come on, baby. I might sing it. I try not to sing R. Kelly's verses, but shut up,
Girl,
can't
when
you
I tell
see
you
who
that song
did
is
the
nowhere
talking,
near my
girl? I
my
struggle.
ether. Like
I
it's
struggle with that. Not singing
I
that
don't
one.
even triple cross anything like that. Now, granted, but I love R&B, but I also listen to a whole lot of other things. So yeah, the rotation would be so it would be really long before I hit something like that. So that's probably why I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. And now, am I saying at this point I can just throw away Usher's catalog? No, I'm not. I'm not
No.
saying
Well,
that.
see, I'm not even
I'm not
I'm
saying
not
that.
throwing away Usher. I am I and I know the show is gonna be good because the Vegas was good.
Girl,
Chris
I went to
Brown's
Miami. I went to Miami to
I
see
I was gonna
Usher.
say, and what was the name of Chris Brown's tour he just got off of?
Yeah,
Um,
Breezy Bowl.
Breezy Bowl was
Yeah.
good. So them together is just what? Why are they even? How are they going to just have astronomical prices for these tickets? Like I
I
don't
have no
understand
idea because I
because
paid a
Usher
pretty penny.
tickets
Yeah,
was
I paid a
exactly.
pretty penny. But let me say this too. to the fans who are listening and are like, yo, I don't care. I got it. This is a historical music moment. I have seen both of them outside of them coming together. So that probably eases me a little bit too, is that I just saw Usher by himself. I've seen Usher, I mean, not Usher, I've seen Chris Brown with Trey Songz back in the day. So I have seen both of them in concert. Will it be something to see them together? Absolutely. But right now, I
Yeah.
just can't do it. I just,
But yeah, so would I see a Usher concert? Absolutely. But am I annoyed by him? Yes, because he's been taking like it, like I said, it started honestly, it started with him showing up to Bezos' wedding.
yeah, you never have really spoken on your girl, Megan, rolling up.
Megan didn't go to Bezos' wedding, but she did go to Kris Jenner's birthday party along
Yeah,
with Beyonce.
rolling up
Yeah,
with that crew.
yeah, yeah. But but so what was so funny was
Purge
she
the
shows
pictures.
up, they take the pictures, post the pictures, and they wipe those pictures so quickly, along with the Beyonce ones too. But the Kardashians be trying it though. They probably, because I know good and darn well Beyonce didn't want those pictures online. But what I will say is this: the first Monday of May is around the corner. Are we boycotting it?
I am.
I am too. I mean these billionaires getting into culture. And did you see what his Lawrence Sanchez had to say about Blakely? Did you see?
No, what did she
She
say?
called him out in her New York Times. First of all, the New York Times is
Blakely is an
giving,
influencer, baby. What?
first of all, and she used his entire government name too. But what it was she, oh, Lord, let me get this because I was like,
Shout out to Blakely out here. I'd be like, girl, thank you. Showing the power of my influence right there.
so the fact that she is even given time and space
Yes.
on the New York Times, it's
Yes.
yes, the name of the article is someone has to be happy. Why not Lawrence Sanchez? And it pretty much
Ew.
gross, right? And she's like, she was upset that Blakely called her capital capitalism's concubine. This is why we
Yo,
love him. Oh my god.
the alliteration. Um,
That's what it is for me too, right? Like, sir.
Blakely,
Uh
you better know your influence and culture out here. You hear me?
she said it says Lauren Sanchez Bezos won't apologize for her happiness.
Okay.
It's giving let them eat cake. Okay. It's giving that. You know what I mean? Gas is too darn high. Okay. Groceries are expensive.
Girl, ain't
Like,
nobody trying to hear nothing about no Lauren Sanchez Bezos. Ma'am.
but then all of our faves are falling for it. Law freaking Stouder. Again, Beyonce is on the committee.
So I say
This
I cannot invest too heavy in anybody anymore. I will like what you put out, and that's gonna be in the we have no relationship. I don't know you. So I cannot invest. But Blakely, do your thing though. So it
fucking
sounds
oh,
like
he also changed his bio. He says Lauren Sanchez Bezos bully um New York Times. So
I love it. Listen, more pub for him. So it sounds like nobody on this pod at this time is gonna go to this concert.
I'll
But
watch the highlights.
y'all do y'all, and we'll see if anything changes our heart between now and December or whenever the end of their tour dates are.
Free tickets. Will we eat crow? You
Who's giving me free tickets? We can have a
never know.
conversation. We'll
You
have
never know.
it's a if somebody wants to offer free tickets, it's a conversation. So go ahead. We'll see. We'll see. It's a challenge because ain't nobody giving me no free tickets.
Ashley, we are podcasters.
We
We can
are.
get free stuff.
We are. I don't want to sell my soul for this though. So y'all can keep it for real. All right, let's move on to Coachella, our final hot topic of the day. I did not watch Coachella. Funny enough though, because it was on YouTube, I got an alert like whatever AM, like, yo, Justin Bieber's hitting the main stage. I'm like, what? Okay. Did I watch? I did not. And apparently I didn't miss much. Sounds
Girl,
like
you
if
did
you were
not.
there in person, per Rachel Lindsay, it was a vibe. And if you're a believer, whatever, it was a vibe. But it sounds like the
It
way
didn't
that people
translate
took it,
well.
yeah, it was boring. He had low energy. And there's even been think pieces about the difference between male artists and what they can get away with stage performances and female
Girl,
artists. Like women have to come out, we got to put on a show. Men can come out there and they can sing karaoke with their old YouTube videos, and that's a performance.
insanity. That's the one thing I will give both Usher and Chris Brown. They be sweating because they be putting in work when they perform because they dance and sing. Freaking Usher roller skates. Like Justin Bieber, because even Sabrina Carpenter's set was impressive. She rode a car out.
That's what
Like,
they said. They said she
sis,
shut it down on Friday.
yes. And this is like Justin's big return, like outside of the Grammy performance. Like, he hadn't been on stage in a very long time. I, it also gives like, oh, if my production staging is cool enough, then I don't have to do much. And that didn't save him, honestly. You know what I mean? Katy Perry, though, kind of cracked me up because she was like, oh, thank God he has YouTube Premium, so we don't have to sit through the.
That's what got her in trouble. That's what sparked the situation with Ruby Rose. She popped out in them streets. Ruby Rose said,
I remember what you did 10 years ago.
right, right,
The North remembers. Well, she's
right.
from Australia, so would it be the South?
Over there. I don't know.
Down Under remembers.
I will say that Coachella has not excited me since Beachella. Um, so I have not been apt to like really go too far down the rabbit hole with it. But would you still consider at our big age going to the desert and actually attending Delora as an
Yes,
experience?
absolutely. I
Okay.
would. I would need to know where the toilets are
Yeah.
and be somewhere air conditioned and have like easy access and then maybe a golf cart. But absolutely I would go. I
You
I
said
would
I
need
need
the
X,
amenities.
Y, and Z, but I could
Yes.
go. Glamp, give me somewhere nice. I mean, I wonder how many people bring like RVs and if you could park them somewhere and then you could have all the fixings in your RV. I don't know. I haven't been, but that'd be an idea.
Would you
The,
go?
uh, uh, I don't feel like it's worth my while anymore. I think at one point in time in my youth, back when I would sleep in a bed with three friends and we could pop up and be ready the next day, I would be down for it. These days, I like my comforts. To your point, I just don't, unless I'm of a certain economic stature where I really know I could go and curate the experience I want to have. I don't know if I want to spend that much money on Coachella. I don't know what the vibe is like. Uh, uh, Never say never, but it's not. It hasn't like pulled me in to be like, let me look into Coachella this year. Like what I want to go to is like South by Southwest. That's what I want to go to,
Oh yeah, I would love to do that.
or
I
go to
also
a
would love to
film
do
festival,
Sundance. I was
huge
gonna do
film
that.
festival.
I would love to do
Yeah,
even Tribeca Film Festival. I would do that in New York.
yeah. Give me something like that over going to the desert, listening probably to a bunch of artists I don't even like, because y'all know I'm very particular about my art. Like, give me R&B or give me nothing.
Well, my girlies were out, even though they were the cat's eye, unfortunately. But the girlies from K-pop Demon Hunters performed their song with them. The reason why I was, giving cat's eye the side eye is because they dropped Manon, the only black girl who was in the freaking group. Manon
Yep.
was actually there, but she didn't. She was in the crowd for other performances. She didn't show up to Cat's Eye's performance, but
Don't blame her.
nope.
All right. Well, guys, let us know your thoughts on our headlines and hot topics for this week. Delora, let's move into our micro dose of You, Me, and Tuscany. Came out over the weekend. We both
Yes,
went and
yes,
saw it.
yes.
Opening weekend numbers about 8 million at the domestic box
Yes.
office
It was number
during its
4.
opening weekend.
Yeah, top 5. Shout out to them.
Top five. Again, this is a romantic comedy starring Halle Bailey and Reggae Jean Page. This was a Will Packer production. Delora, tell me about your box office experience.
Well, I had to see this movie in theaters. Like, okay, so we just saw the drama.
Hmm.
And even before that, we just recapped the materialists, right? We were very adamant on how the drama and the materialists, anything from A24 is not really given rom-com we like how we have come
Love.
to love
Love.
and cherish. So Yumi and Tuscany was like for me catnip. I'm like, of course I'm gonna go see it. What do you mean? We're going to Italy and there's going to be food and wine and scenery and reggae and Hallie. First of all, Hallie is so magnetic. I mean, she's so beautiful. She's so precious. And I say that because I'm like, Chica was a scammer. Okay.
A little bit. Broke, getting around by the skin of her chinny chin chin out here. I mean,
Girl.
she was
And
Goldilocks. Living.
but that charm, turn on that charm, those people were petty in her hand, or I should say pasta in her hand. um it was definitely PG. I was not expecting, Bridgerton level at all,
Yeah.
but
No.
it's like it was very much old school rom-com. I love it. You know me, um I love a little love triangle, and I also love fake dating. So now this is a bit reversed, but they also made it very easy to know who you're rooting for, though. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. This was definitely we recapped while you were sleeping not too long ago. This was definitely
Yes.
very much in line with that trope and that storyline. Like for real. I even said it in theaters. I went and saw this with my mom. And shout out to the black women. Black women were in our theater heavy to watch and
Yes.
come out for this over the weekend, which we love to see. But the scenery, to your point, the house, my God.
Girl.
Give me that layout.
Girl. I
Loved
want
it.
all of it. All of it. The bed, that kitchen.
Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Um,
I mean, why are you in the US when you got that in
girl.
in a vineyard?
And then your people are taking care of it for you. Because when she came in, I was like, what type of, how is this immaculate? You don't, no one's living here. How is this immaculate? It's because his people are taking care of it for him. I'm like, Mom, if I up and gotta go, I'm gonna need you to come be housekeeping every week and keeping everything clean. Because that's apparently how the Italians roll. They, the aspect of family I enjoyed in the film.
Yes.
They were very tight knit, which was nice. The music they made like that soundtrack. They made me go ahead and turn on Olivia. I'm ready to go back down the rabbit hole with
Yes.
Mario. Like it was a great, great soundtrack. What did you think of Reggae and Hallie's chemistry.
I think they had good chemistry. I mean, again, I also feel like who wouldn't fall in love with Hallie and who wouldn't fall in love with Rick? You know what I mean? I feel like the chemistry was more default than like intentional. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I didn't feel strong romance. I felt like he cared about her, but not like the
yes.
passion. I
Yeah.
didn't feel like, I
But
think
I
I
don't
said
think
like
we were
it's not that
supposed to get that
90s Nia Long, Lorenz Tate passion. You know what I mean? Like,
because it was a little like I said, it's borderline PG. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think
yeah,
that's what it was giving. Um,
it was cute. It was
it was
cute.
cute. And that's what I told Dave. It was it like the most life-changing rom-com I've ever seen? Of course not. But is it one that I've enjoyed that I have not seen in a long time? Yeah, I loved the
Yeah.
theater, just happy. I was like, this is so cute.
I mean, I think it met the expectations I had for it, right? Like
Yes.
that's it absolutely met the expectations that I had for it. It was a
It's
nice time
again for her to be broke,
in
her
theaters.
her hair, her lashes, her nails, and her dress. Okay. Because that's the one thing about rom-coms that are always funny. It's like, I'm a journalist, but I wear, I'm thinking about Sex and the City, Manolos. Like, no, you don't.
You
Like,
know, Carrie maxed out multiple credit cards over the lifetime of that series because there ain't no way.
ain't no way. But again,
She was a
um,
columnist for a local newspaper.
yeah. Um, and then, shout out to this being in the canon of Black women falling in love in Italy. Because I told Dave, you know what? It's better. It's not that it's better than From Scratch, but From Scratch just took your heart
Yeah.
and struck it
Oh my God.
with
From Scratch
the
was
knife.
visceral. And then you find out
It
it's a
was
true story. So it's like
who child like
deep.
that. I think we were crying on that. I know I was crying on that.
I didn't cry on the recap, but watching the show, like especially the scene, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, where he's literally dying. They show the scene where he dies and she's right there with him. And then she has the scene after that where she is sobbing uncontrollably, like in the bathtub or whatever. Oh my God. I was like, this is acting, first of all, because this is visceral. I feel pain in my chest.
Yeah. Um, so we got our happy ending here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Thank
I
God.
can't wait. I'm not going to Tuscany just yet, but I do look forward to going. And
This made me miss Italy so much.
it was a good time. But then at the same time, I did give it a little bit of a side eye. I'm like, so I know she needs a job, but like she gets a family and a job. Like, what we want for her?
Yeah.
The sister was also my favorite. She was just like, I have a boyfriend. Thank you.
And
In
it's the best way to
addition,
do it.
in
This is the
addition to her
life.
husband.
This is the life. I regret having an affair. I'm just kidding.
I regret nothing.
JK. But that's why it was also like while you were sleeping, because there's a sister, there was a grandma. It was just like
Yeah,
the same
that's a good comparison.
dynamics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, let us know what you
Oh,
thought
the
of
only
You,
thing
Me, and
was
Tuscany.
missing was Hallie having a song. I'm like, girl, why don't you have a song on this soundtrack?
You know, she's like, y'all know I sang. You know, every now and again, I just want to act. I just want to step into a role, and that's all I'm doing out
And
here.
they had reggae out here singing. He was in a part of like a rock band.
I heard him say that on an episode. I think it was Kelly Clarkson or one of the press rounds they were doing. Because I think Hallie said, I think Kelly or Hallie said something about him being a singer. He was like, stop. Like, y'all are singers. I'm not that too kind. Kind of reminded me of the press tour with Wicked when I think Ariana or Cynthia or one of them was talking about everybody singing, and Jonathan Bailey was
Yeah,
like, no,
no.
y'all are the singers. We're just keeping up back here. So God bless. Any other thoughts before we wrap on You, Me, and Tuscany, Delora?
Like I said, it's a good time. I look forward to seeing it again.
So this is one you think you're going to put in the catalog.
Yeah, why not? You know me, I love a good rom-com.
Are you buying
And
DVD? You still buy
why
DVDs?
not? Why
Okay.
not?
Just checking. I got to get that Wicked double disc here
You
very
know,
soon.
I need reggae to do more work, and I'm glad that he got a chance to do this. Like this was fun. Um, because he's done the spy stuff and all that. I'm ready for him to do more.
Very nice. All right. That's it. That's all, guys. Thank you for sticking with us for this episode. Please share it out with everybody you know. Again, go vote, 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 vote for
Yes,
us for
yes,
the Women
yes.
Podcasters Awards. Link is in the show notes. Link is on social media. We appreciate you. We'll be back with what, Delora? What are we recapping for the people?
Oh, we will be recapping the third installment of Knives Out called Wake Up Dead Man. We get a chance to see Detective Blanc at his finest.
Very, very, very nice. All right, guys, stick with us. Come back for that. We appreciate you. Take care of yourselves. In the meantime, as always, till we see you again, be blessed.
Bye.